Well, pro day a little light this year with the number of players that are competing in it, but you know, I think that's a good thing if you're coming back. We've got a lot of young players back, and, but I thought our guys did a nice job out here today. It was well represented by people, and so they'll look forward to the future. You know, we've had I think 28 players drafted here, and numerous players signed free agents over the course of these last 11 years. So there's a path to the NFL from here, and that's what's exciting for all these guys. And they've seen guys run this before and do these type of things, so it was their time. So as far as the scrimmage, relatively short scrimmage yesterday, but we got something done. You know, I thought that you know, we practiced before the scrimmage actually too, so we were still out there for quite a while. But going into practice, I believe 8 today, so there's a lot to continue to do. But you know, we move forward.
Mark, every spring there's guys that maybe you weren't anticipating taking a step. Who'd have, in 7 practices completed now, who's maybe made a step that you didn't anticipate? You
know, I think it's always, you know, we've got a lot of players back with a lot of experience, but so some of the guys you haven't seen as much, you know, I can talk about guys that have played a lot, but some of the guys, you know, Shakur Brown has made a pick yesterday, looked good. I think Noah Harvey's looking good. You know, for a guy that you know, redshirted last year, and I think those are names that probably nobody has really talked about much. I'm trying to think in the secondary. You know, Xavier Henderson's impressive for what I would call a rookie, a guy that's early enrolled. So that's been a big positive for us. I'm trying to think, we've got some linebackers that are dinged up and out a little bit. So you know, Brandon Randall continues to improve, as well as, you know, Tyreek Thompson, I think, is an much improved football player from where he's been. You know, he's older, he knows what to do, he's reacting instinctively. Byron Bullis had a very good spring thus far. But, you know, I pretty much have to go through every position to do something like this. But it's interesting to watch the guys who haven't repped as much. So Rocky Lombardi getting a lot of reps, as well as, you know, Theo Day. And Theo's opportunities yesterday were the first time in the scrimmage, so a little bit of a learning process, but he's got a lot of talent, and he's going to be an excellent quarterback for us, as well as Rocky.
Mark, you mentioned Xavier. How's Bergman going so far?
Yeah, Kalen's another guy. Got a lot of young players out there. So Kalen's looked really well. Number 18 shows up. He's very instinctive, reacts very well, tackles effectively, plays well to the edge, and he can really run. So I think there's no question that he's going to be a player here for us.
What do you want to see from Rocky Lombardi as he continues into the spring game, going into the fall?
Yeah, you know, I think execution in terms of, and not making mistakes as a quarterback. The least amount of mistakes you make, you know, the better we're going to be as a group. And I think turnovers always plays into that, so you got to be careful with the football. But Rocky's a coach's son. He's a guy that works extremely hard. He's very talented. I think his throwing motion has come a long way in a year. He's still a freshman. So he's done some things out there that have been very impressive.
When you talk about the youth of this team, how much retention have you seen in that first scrimmage from a year ago? And is it a different thing when you have that many young guys coming back?
There's a lot of retention. There's a lot of guys playing competitively as to whether they are ones or twos or threes, so that's good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We try and become as active as we can in terms of whether it's tackling or playing off the blocks or doing those type of things. So that's been a positive. But I think a lot of retention, but there's still a ways to go, and I think that's the way it is with every football team. I think, you know, when you come in, you're trying to go past the bar that maybe you've set before, and that's always a challenge.
Every spring, Mark, you go mad scientist a little bit and just do some experimenting and moving people around just for fun of it. Not always all of it sticks. What are some experiments you've made this spring?
Emmanuel Flowers working a wide receiver. You know, played wide out and defensive back in high school, and so we've moved him over there. And I think he's found a place there, so he's been fun to watch, although he's still learning. You know, those older wide receivers, or the young older wide receivers, I should say, are all moving in the right direction as well. I can't think of, there's not too many. You know, our offensive line guys are playing across the board at different positions.
I know it was a short scrimmage, but did you get a chance to use some other running backs besides Scott? And did you get that deep into Connor Hayward? How's he?
Yeah, we're a little bit thin there. Connor played, obviously, and then LJ. but we're a little bit thin there in terms of depth. But with Elijah Collins and Ladarius coming in here, that'll fill it out. And then Alante Thomas, LT's brother, has been impressive. We moved Austin Andrews over there as well, and got a couple other guys that are working there too.
How about a defensive end? That's one of the spots we're kind of looking at guys. Mufi looks bigger.
Yeah, Mufi is big. He's coming off that knee injury though, so he's unable to participate this spring. But he's over 300 pounds.
You see him more inside guy.
He'll be an inside guy.
Mark, you feeling any better about the center position? I know when you first talked about it, you said there was still a spot that you wanted to look at with multiple guys.
Well, when you lose a guy like Brian Allen there, you're going to be searching a little bit. But Matt is playing well. His brother. We've worked Higbee in there. We've worked Jordan in there. Jordan Reed in there. David Beetle has the ability to go in there. Blake Buter. I think Blake Buter is taking steps. Pretty much like Connor Cruz had maybe. He's a non-scholarship guy, but he's 306 pounds. He's athletic. So he's done some good things in there. So those guys are all sort of working in there, and one day they get the reps, and one day they get reps at other positions. So it's been a positive, but I still think that position is you got to play games.
Shakur Brown, you have him at corner, safety. What's he doing?
Corner. Shakur's at corner. Trey Persons look good. Dom Long. We've got guys at that position.
Obviously, with all the returners in the secondary, and you've got a heavy incoming class of freshmen and DBs, how much is that competition shaking out this spring with?
Well, we have two of the guys here with Kalen and X right now, so the three other guys coming in will have opportunities. We're going to play the best players, and they're good athletes. And when you have competition, it breeds success.
Is Xavier at safety then?
Xavier's a safety.
What do you tell guys that may obviously go to you? Obviously, let me rephrase that. What do you tell?
I do that a lot.
What do you tell guys who are looking to go to the NFL that may not make it and try to spear them towards avenues of like other leagues like the CFL? Because you've had a couple linebackers in the CFL presently.
Yeah, we have, and I think everybody's dream is to play professional football at whatever level. What's great about all these guys that we're working out here, they all have their degrees. And that's been a big positive for a lot of our players. So they'll have opportunities beyond football, and what we're hoping for is for their success as individuals.
Does that draft streak mean to the program?
One and done. I don't know. I just take it 1 year at a time. I think we'll have a guy drafted, but that's up to other people. I can't control that.
But it means a lot to
Yeah, I think we're one of 5 schools in the country that's had a draft pick for the last how many years it's been? 6 years.
Yeah, the modern draft.
Modern draft. So that's we've had a lot of guys go on and play, and we've had a lot of guys come out of here and be free agents. And you see what Kirk Cousins is doing, and Le'Veon Bell, and so many other guys. Some guys are on second contracts in the NFL, and they were free agents, like Brian Hoyer and Eric Selleck and guys like that. So, it's a good thing. This place gives you an opportunity to play at the highest level in this conference, in this division, in this conference. And when you have the chance to play at the highest level, the competition is stiff, but it prepares you for the next step.
Scouts say it's the most attractive traits that Brian has right now as a lineman.
Well, I just continually hear he's a football player, and he's going to play. He's going to play a long time in that league. So he's just so athletic. He's powerfully built. He's a wrestler. He's played the position. He can play guard and center, so he's a multiple-use guy, and he understands football. And one thing about what we do here is we use a pro-style offense, so that does prepare them from a terminology standpoint, things of that nature for the next step.
When you talk to scouts about a player like Gerald Holmes, what are the kind of points you address?
I think Gerald's a very good football player. He played a lot of football for us in the last 3 years. He's been the centerpiece guy, and been the, when other guys have been out or when he's been the starter. He's had some very big games. He's been a third down back. He catches the ball very well. You guys saw that today. Physically, he's big, run, powerful, jump, those type of things. So I think what he's looking for is an opportunity, and given that opportunity, he's going to compare very favorably with a lot of the players that they have in that league.
When you get back in pads, what would you like to see sharpen up coming out of about the halfway point?
I just like to see shock. I just like to see people snap. a little bit. Snap. You know, I just like to see suddenness, and so we're always trying to get that to the next level, regardless of what that is, whether you're throwing, catching the ball, running with the ball, or tackling. You know, you want to do it with sudden bursts, and so that's what we continue to look at.
Saw some of that yesterday. Want to see more?
Always want to see more. Always. Can't settle.
How much more comfort do you have with the starting quarterback coming in from last year?
I'm going to sneeze. But don't make fun of me now if I do. I'm trying to hold it off. What was the question?
Lewerke coming back after last year being the starter.
Oh yeah, you know, it's like I said to him yesterday actually. Belief is such a big thing. I think when you play football and do things, so you got to have belief that you can come in and do the job. You know, he won 10 games last year. I think threw for 20 touchdowns, ran for 600 yards, threw for 2,500. So there's a foundation there for his success level, and I think that he'll be prepared for that next step. You know, and it's important that everybody comes with him. But you know, we have a very confident quarterback who's played in a lot of games with a lot of experience and has made great plays for us.
You had only 5 guys here for Pro Day, which I think you said is the fewest you've ever had. That little amount of players that potential to play at the next level kind of just reinforce how the turnaround you guys had last year to 10-3, knowing that you're not sending 20 guys.
No, we had a young football team, as we said, and we're young again this year. So when you have 53 players that were redshirt freshmen or true freshmen, you have a young football team. So we won a lot of football games with grit. We did, and we have to maintain that attitude ourselves and just keep pushing. But I think that's what we've done. That's good?
Thank you. Appreciate it.